Wait,
now?
now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now, Steve, now.
Well, I've frozen up.
Well, you can do this. This is the most important moment of your life. You can do this.
Welcome to Whose Line Is It Anyway? The show with... Oh, no. Welcome to the Trailer Island podcast.
Hey! Well done, Steve.
Yeah,
You've done the
look
intro.
what we got.
Congratulations.
This is the show where we compare the trailers to movies and we see how it actually came together as opposed to which trailer. And then we talk about the trailer. Matt talks about Skyfall. Skyfall.
With pleasure.
With pleasure. Judi Dench. That's what I wish I would have done this week is gone through each podcast and count up like certain stats.
How many times I mentioned Last Jedi?
Yeah.
And Judi Dench.
And Judi Dench.
You leave Judi Dench alone.
I'm quite certain you've mentioned Bond in every episode we've done this year.
No, not everyone, but it'd be about 90%, I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, what are we doing this podcast, Steve? This is a special one, isn't it?
This is a special one. You've got to be a little bit more patient this week because you've got me in control. What we're going to do is we're going to take a look back at 2020, the absolute swear word of a year.
It's been an interesting year, hasn't it?
It's been an interesting year, especially for moviegoers.
And just in case people were worried, I am also here.
Oh, hi, Alex.
I didn't do the intro, but I am here.
Oh, we go around and say our names, don't we?
we do,
Steve.
yeah.
I'm Matt. No, please.
I'm just not used to being second, saying my name. So I'm Alex.
And I'm Matthew.
Okay, there we go.
There we go.
So we're gonna look back at our first 6 months.
Yeah.
Of reviews and
roughly.
all that. I've got some questions prepared.
Oh, I'm very excited for your questions. I actually have some fun facts, actually. Well, I have one fun fact I'd like to start with.
Well, I love fun facts, Matt, so let's have it.
Now, this might be lifting the magic curtain a little bit, but people may not realise that our first episode, which was 1917, that film came out...
1917.
I'm pretty sure that came out January, I think, didn't it?
Yeah.
This year.
November last year, actually.
November last year. Wow, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
And we recorded that first episode, I think about February, when
Yeah.
we were
Yeah.
getting this whole thing set up, when we were getting started. And then obviously COVID happened.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
weren't able to see each other for a long time. And as a result, because we didn't have any episodes in the bank, if we released that one, it would be, hey, here's episode 1, and then have nothing to follow it up with.
Yeah.
So we had to wait. So we waited a long time to release that. And so there's a bit of time travel happening there, which was a bit fun. Those first few
but
episodes.
I think for the most part, it worked out.
Absolutely.
We've released an episode every Wednesday since
Yeah.
then, except for that 1 week that we had the corrupted audio
The very,
issue.
very meta audio issue on Justice League.
A wonderful week. How are we all?
Plagued by technical issues, possibly sabotage.
And this week we have got a doozy. Yeah, which is whether that's ironic, I don't know.
Yeah, it's
apropos
quite fitting,
what the
probably.
difference is. Could we just also note this is episode 30.
Oh, God.
Oh, there we go.
We've
wow.
hit another milestone.
We got
Terrific.
we've got there.
Yeah.
We got to, well, we've been double figures for a while now, but there we go. And it's the last episode of the year. It's we're on the brink of New Year's Eve, the end of this 2020 that's been a strange one. And Steve, you wanted to do a year in review.
I got nostalgic. I got emotional.
Oh.
Yep.
And I really wanted to really look back at the mistakes we've made. I just want to. We've got a list of totals that we gave movies this year. Does anyone want to revise any results? Because I want to revise one.
I definitely want to give the Taylor Swift documentary less.
Yeah.
Okay, so when I saw the ratings for the year that we've had, I saw that 1917 got 14, and my firm memory was that we all gave that 5.
No.
Which one of you were the traitor?
Me. I'm going to give it 4. If I'm not forced to watch this again, I probably won't watch it again.
Would you still give it a 5? I would still give it a 5.
I'd still give it a 5. Yeah,
Yeah.
You can't. Okay, so I understand that you guys are going to possibly change something about your Taylor Swift score, and here is the reason why I'm going to allow that, because that throughout the year of our 30 episodes, we seem to always come back to, wait, what did you give Taylor
Yeah,
Swift?
exactly. Yeah, that's how litmus it is.
So that is why I'm going to allow you to potentially make a modification, because Fat Man got, what was it?
5, I think.
That's
wasn't it?
now our low. That's that now.
That was
our
our
lowest.
lowest. Our lowest. I gave it
Yeah.
a 2. Steve, you gave it a 2. And Matt, you gave it.
I gave it a 1.
You gave it a 1, so it
Yeah.
got 5. And our conversation was it actually worse than Taylor Swift?
Well, look, Taylor Swift can't have more than Mortal Engines, which it currently does.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I didn't mind Taylor Swift.
Oh, it was awful.
I thought it was okay.
Oh no, it wasn't.
I did think a couple of these scores were interesting.
Interesting is a good word.
Well, I mean, The Old Guard was obviously a pretty badly reviewed movie by us as well. 8.5, which I think it deserves.
I think that's pretty spot on.
Yeah.
Now,
So it's 0.5 better than our current rating of 8 for Taylor Swift.
now Taylor Swift, I want to
All right, let's get this out of the way.
Miss Americana documentary.
Yeah.
Yes.
I said 2 scores.
Okay.
I said a 3 or a 1, and I'll clarify. We talked about the documentary, and I was like, if this is a Richie Didge, like going behind the scenes, not a selling mechanism, then that's a 3. If it's purely like propaganda, a 1. This year, Taylor Swift has released 2 albums, and they've really done both well. This movie is propaganda.
There we go. We're using the
Back to a
propaganda
1.
word
It's
again.
back to a 1 for me,
Oof.
which brings it down to a 6. Still not the worst.
I want to give it 0.5
Okay.
because out of everything we've seen this year, that one made me want to claw my eyes out. There's no clear journey for this documentary. It tries to do far too many things. They needed to pick one and stick with it. So it's a messy film, and I still don't know what the message is.
Because I think I gave it a 3, didn't I?
You did.
And you know what? Because I have integrity. I'm not changing anything.
Oh, I have no shame. So, I will
That's
change any of these scores.
Yeah.
So hang on. That brings it down to a 4.5.
Yes,
Yeah.
good.
I don't know if it does deserve that because it was an interesting look behind the curtain.
Yeah, and that's why I gave it a 3. And the rest of you are going to suffer the consequences of the...
Oh,
the-
look,
What are Taylor Swift fans called? Swifties?
I can't remember.
Zealots.
Cultists. No, look, if people want to come and tell me why I'm wrong, that's fine. I'm a big boy. I can take it. But I would like to just focus on some of our, shall we say, successes.
Yes.
So we've got both, just straight off the bat, we've got Rear Window and Skyfall, both with 15.
Yeah.
I think they are well deserving of that.
Well, see, they are part of our special series of Time Tug episodes. And of course, the Time Tug is our boat captain who's got the time traveling tugboat, which, whilst it's not able to get us off this barren island,
It's more
Baron-
metaphorical, I think.
yeah, barren tropical, I think, whatever the narrative's been over the last
The
6
bar's
months.
good here. I'll give it that.
Yeah.
It's the idea of a boat.
Yeah, the Time Tug and the Time Tug captain are able to bring these films back, to make us, bring us back through time to review these films. And I've over the year, I've become quite affectionate towards the Time Tug captain.
Zombies can't get me in the boat. The ocean is my girlfriend and she keeps on cheating on me. I can't drink Falcon Martini anymore because he's sick.
I would like to say something about the Time Tug, if I may.
Yes.
I've always been quite apprehensive about the Time Tug, mainly because I think if we're doing a film that came out in 2012, I feel like, is it long enough ago to use it? But beside that, I would just like to think of the captain himself and just what he does for us. So I'd like to give him an award of Best Newcomer, if I may. I think he deserves that. He's done a lot for us. So Best Newcomer to the Time Tug captain. Is he here? Can we...
Hang on, I'll just see if he's captain. Are you around at all? Here he is.
here
he is.
come get your award. Come on.
Oh, here you go. Yeah. I don't know, for some reason he's just sent a little Native American girl. Now this is a deep, deep joke. This is
Oh my God.
this is a joke about Marlon Brando winning the Academy Award for.
Sorry, that broke me. That was so unexpected. Sorry, all right, please continue. Your Marlon Brando story. Please justify this, otherwise we'll be
I've
accused of being
explained
racist.
the joke enough.
So,
No, I want to know now. I don't know this story. Please.
you don't know this story.
I don't know this story.
Point of comedy is context, son.
Thank you, Time
Anyway,
Tug Captain.
thank
I'm glad
you.
you finally had a word. No, at one of the Oscars where Marlon Brando was supposed to receive the Academy Award for something, in protest of the awards and what the American people were doing to Native Americans and nature and stuff, a Native American woman accepted the award on his behalf with like
Right.
a scathing message about the current state of things.
Wow. Well, that makes a point, doesn't it?
So the time tug captain is, I don't know, protesting his existence on the island. I'm not sure.
I didn't realize he was that unhappy.
Shall we get on to the...
All right, yeah. Question, please, question.
Okay, first question
this
tonight.
week's political statements brought to you by Steve.
First question tonight. Of the movies released in 2020, what was the best you saw?
Now, this is actually a very tough one because it's been such a tragic year, really, for releases. We've actually got very little to choose from, I believe. At least,
Well, there's been plenty out,
Yeah.
really.
well,
but
maybe, yeah.
Year of streaming.
That's true.
the first film that we did, there's two films that I think I gave 5 stars each. There might have been more, but the ones that really stand out to me was 1917, which I gave 5 and loved. Absolutely loved it. The second one that I really loved was Eurovision Song Contest. It
Tickled you at the right place.
tickled me in the right places, and that's what I needed. So I'm quite happy with that. There's just something about that film.
I have not thought about that film until I was going back and looking at reviews.
I forgot we did that.
Yeah,
I really like that movie.
I thought I didn't realize it existed still in this timeline.
Maybe as an antidote to that, I would say that my favorite film was actually the David Attenborough documentary. But what I loved about it was the acknowledgement, firstly, of the work that Attenborough's done, but also the acknowledgement of how short a time, like the fact that he's framed it through his lifespan, the changes to the planet, I thought was such a good focus. Being the sentimental sop that I am, I tend to cry in movies, but that just destroyed me, that documentary.
Right. Okay.
And I had such a strong emotional response to that. That's got to be probably, well, maybe the most influential film I've seen this year, I suggest. But yeah, definitely my favorite.
Well, I got a couple. I would probably... The Gentleman was like, that's been knocking around the old noggin for a while. Like,
Did that come out this year, though?
It did, yeah.
Okay.
For Australia, at least.
Oh, okay, right.
And I would also probably say that Marriage Story as well. Like,
That is
I
a good
forgot
one.
about that.
That is a
Yeah.
great movie, yeah.
but I mean, it's fresh in my mind. But Mank is there as well.
Okay.
Mank is definitely like, I enjoyed every tiny bit.
What year did
that.
Mortal Engines come out?
2018.
My favorite film of 2018 was Mortal
Trash.
Engines.
Well, that's interesting. Can we qualify our time tug films as being our favorite film of the year?
Well, this is why I've got the second question.
Oh.
It's not that piece of paper. Of any movie you saw for the first time this year, what was the best you saw?
Okay, so this could be a time tug because you're saying the first time we saw a film.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be something from 2020. It can be, if you saw it for the first time this year, go your hardest.
Eurovision Song Contest.
Oh, yeah.
I actually quite like Knives Out. When we are oversaturated with superhero films and the like at the moment, I feel like this is a good gateway film into just changing your palette. I was quite happy with that, actually. Yeah. You know, I wasn't disappointed that I'd waited so long to see it. I was like, man, this is a good movie.
I might get 2 days from saying this and think differently, but I'm actually going to go with Greyhound.
Okay.
That was an interesting, wasn't it? Because it was like
it's a bit of a sleeper hit.
I don't remember it existing.
I think I enjoyed it. It was a decent film. I would have loved to have seen it in the cinema though.
Yeah.
It's a shame that because of the whole, I hate saying it now, but just the whole COVID thing, we got denied the privilege.
What was wrong with it had like the German book, we're coming for you.
I don't remember.
And the
it.
racist English guy at the end.
Look out, little boat, we're going to catch you. Mm-hmm.
I didn't remember that. What was that?
Oh, that was Greyhound.
I thought it was about racing.
That was
It's a race of sorts.
Well, I got two.
Okay.
Because I watched Rocky for the first time this year, and I thought it was fabulous.
we didn't do that on the list.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be on the list.
Oh, well, that changes everything.
It's the questions were. It didn't say anything about the list.
See, he's changing the rules. It's
I think it should be referential to the... Because don't forget, we have an audience who are listening to this.
We also have lives outside of this.
No, we don't.
No, we don't. And
This is all we've got.
And they're expecting, they're going to talk about the movies that they've seen this year. And then you're just talking about Rocky.
Maybe I'm teasing out future term tugs.
What's your second one?
What was the other one? I saw Star Trek: Wrath of Khan. for the
Star
first
Trek.
Star Trek.
Was that the
Star Trek.
VHS rip-off
time. It
version?
was, yes.
Star Trek. So,
Wrath of Khan is a very good film.
Wrath of Khan is a very good film.
is it a
for
sequel, prequel,
That's the
sequel
second film they made, I
the
think,
second
isn't it?
Star Trek film? Yes.
Yeah.
of the reboots?
No, the original
Yeah.
cast and everything. Yeah, it's very good. From I think that was like early 80s.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So not like the Chris Hemsworth
William
ones.
Shatner.
Yeah, no. It's the original cast. So William Shatner, what's his name? DeForest Kelly.
I was going to say Leonard Nimoy.
Leonard Nimoy. I think I've got his name, Bones' name, horribly wrong.
Oh,
But that's okay. Anyway, original cast. Doesn't matter. We didn't do a podcast on it, so we'll move on.
I watched those two for the first time this year, and they were both really good. I wasn't expecting a lot from Rocky. Like I'd heard all these things about Rocky being this just like sport film, and Rocky itself is a sport film, but you only see like a fight at the beginning and the end of the film. I think it's fantastic.
Next question, Steve.
Okay. Of the seasons of TV released in 2020, what was the best you watched?
I haven't actually seen, because I should say I've been actually catching up on a lot of TV. I was quite behind. So the only new TV shows I've seen this year, I think I'm correct in saying that were released this year, were The Mandalorian season 2, and I've also started watching The Boys, which I think season 2 came out this year.
Yes.
When did season 1 of The Mandalorian come out?
That was last year.
This
Was
time
it
last year, yeah.
Was it really? See,
Yeah.
my memory of these things is
Season 2 of Mandalorian has been absolutely
Yeah.
fantastic, and I would
Yep.
say that is my pick. It's been season 1 as if we go and listen to the episode, it's there for you all to listen to. But I definitely had my doubts about that one. It has so much promise, and I feel like currently, just judging it from season 1, there's some things missing from me, despite all the good things.
yeah, that was all the way back in episode 2.
It was all the way back in episode 2, and I remember being a bit iffy, but season 2 has just been incredible.
And I think that's the only TV show that we've done the entire year. Even though on the website it says, we do talk about films and in brackets and TV, because we had to add that in after we did The Mandalorian.
But by the way, I'd love to do Chernobyl at some point.
Yeah.
I have to see it.
Yeah. I would
Like,
love.
like you, I've got a lot of catching up to do.
Yeah, Chernobyl was suggested to me by one of our mutual friends, and it's just incredible.
I would say for me, season 2 Mando's been fantastic. AP Bio is a small little comedy TV series on NBC in the States, and no one thought that was going to get past season 2, but we got season 3 this year, and I binged all of that in one night, and it was fantastic, and I really, really like that. Shout out to AB Bio. I think you should go watch that.
I'm wrong. I also watched Auntie Donna's Big Old House of Fun on Netflix, which is so funny. That is so good.
I couldn't get into the comedy of that.
That tickled me just right.
What?
I think the thing with Auntie Donna is you either love them or hate them, I find. But that series I thought was very adult. Like, don't show your kids. Do not show your kids. But it's very funny. Very funny.
Yeah. I actually spent a lot of the year catching up on all the Star Wars cartoons.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did.
This is going to fold into the next question quite well. Then. Oh, it's not on paper again.
Because there was the Clone Wars animated series.
Yep.
I'm currently trying to get through Rebels. And all of this was spurred out of wanting to make sure that I was aware of all the references in The Mandalorian, which has since paid off.
Good.
Because I'm catching all the little things.
Oh, I would also say that season 7 of the Clone Wars came out earlier this year.
Oh, it did, didn't it?
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah, that was
The final
was
season.
really good. Really helped tie into, was it Revenge of the Sith?
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
The
'Cause it
best Star Wars film.
Because it fills the gap between the Attack of the Clones.
The whole series, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It fills the gap between Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. And then we've got what I'm currently watching is Rebels, which is between episodes 3 and 4. And yeah,
We should get some continuation of the Clone Wars through the bad.
well,
Batch.
yeah, a couple of weeks ago, Disney released like a dozen projects in
Loads
the
of
line.
sizzle reels.
Sizzle reels.
Is that Filoni again as well?
In the Bad Batch?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Thank heavens.
I don't know. I hope so. I assume so.
Now, seeing as we've been catching up on TV, the next question is, in your isolated splendor, what was the best show you binged?
Clone Wars for me. It's the only show that I really binged this year.
Yeah, I was struggling to think. It's either it's Flying Circus, because that's probably the only show that I actually properly sat down and binged.
Flying Circus.
Monty Python's Flying Circus,
Right.
the original TV show they did. Because I'm pretty sure I watched all of season 1 in about 2 days because I had a weekend off with nothing to do.
Is that a sketch show?
Sorry,
Is that a sketch
It's
show?
a sketch show. I love it, and it's the Flying Circus has not aged as well as some people think. There were moments of absolute genius in that show, and some sketches you sort of go like, what? They were clearly just padding out the runtime kind of thing. But yeah, it's a wonderful TV show. A lot of zany kind of
Hijinks.
Hijinks, yeah, it's great. So that's what I probably binged. That and Chernobyl. I watched Chernobyl pretty much in one sitting.
Okay. I think for me, I finally finished. I think it's probably been like 4 years in the making. Finally finished Avatar: The Last Airbender, and I thought it was spectacular. I thought it was probably one of the best things I've watched in 5 years.
Maybe we could do
wow.
the film as a podcast.
I haven't watched the film yet, and I really am like.
That's got a real reputation
it
for being
does.
a horrible film.
I've started the sequel series, Legend of Korra, as well, which is it's different but still pretty decent as well.
Okay,
We'll
interesting.
see.
Got any more questions there, Steve?
I certainly do.
I hope you're all playing at home as well. Really thinking about reflecting on your year as well. Because
Please comment, actually,
Yes.
like on Facebook or on our other
Yeah.
socials. Actually, let us know what you're looking forward to seeing and that kind of thing, or what you've been watching. That'd be great to sort of see what other people are doing.
Who's been your favorite actor this year?
Without a doubt, I'm not sure what his name is, but the actor who plays Moff Gideon in Mandalorian,
Giancarlo Esposito,
he's fantastic. He's probably might be my favorite this year.
who's getting just the tremendous amount of work since Breaking Bad. Played Gus Fring.
I really liked what's her face in Eurovision.
Rachel McAdams?
Rachel McAdams.
That's fair. She's great.
I realized that seeing Rachel McAdams in that reawakened something in me that I'd forgot that I had for Rachel McAdams.
Oh,
Because I was just like,
That's why we did about that's why we might do About Time
yeah. That was something that I think that's been in the request pipeline, is to do About Time. And
with your wife.
yeah, I think she was really keen to
Yeah.
be part of that episode. So I think we'll have to get her, pull her out of the wherever she is on the island and
We'll
get her
have
to
to-
jump in and provide some advice, eh?
we'll have to find her first, but that's okay.
Oh, what about the little boy in Jojo Rabbit?
Oh yeah, I mean he was
Fantastic.
terrific.
What's
yeah.
his that guy?
Sam Rockwell was so good in that movie. How did I forget about that?
He was.
That was good. Did we like Parasite? I didn't like Parasite.
I didn't like Parasite.
You guys didn't like Parasite. I really liked.
You really like Parasite. Me personally, yeah, I'd say let's go 3.5.
There's no mistake here. This film is exceptionally well made, but nothing happens for an hour. For me, at least, like for me, it's a two and a bit hour movie, but really, it's just an hour movie.
But that was our only foreign language film, I think.
We should do more of those.
Technically, Mortal Engines was as well.
Wow.
I think my favorite actor this year, what's his face from The Gentleman?
Oh, Matthew McConaughey?
No.
Hugh Grant.
Hugh Grant.
Yes, Hugh Grant.
I thought that was one of the best performances I've seen all year.
He's so good in that. Yeah.
I thought Rosario Dawson has captured Ahsoka Tano so well. She's been on screen for 22 minutes now, and it's actually really caught my attention.
I would agree with Hugh Grant. That's
Hugh Grant.
He's done so well in that film.
And Charlie Hunnam, I didn't realize Charlie Hunnam was actually a decent actor until I did watch The Gentleman. And
I knew it from the moment from Pacific Rim. I was like, this guy's a good actor.
okay, so the next question, we're gonna look forward here.
Ooh.
We're gonna look forward.
Does the time tug go forward?
No, that's called a Emmett gut. See, that's about time tug backwards.
You actually did that quite quickly.
I don't know, I'm pretty impressed.
I'm still catching up with what that joke means. Oh, you said time tug backwards.
Yeah,
A mitt gut.
yeah.
Have you seen Tenet again? We'd warned you about watching Tenet.
Tenet has been.
We all kind of forgot about Tenet, I think.
It's
Yeah.
pretty silent, hasn't it?
No one really
Yeah,
cared
just
about
like,
that movie.
okay, no one's still talking about it like they did Inception.
Yeah.
Everyone's just like, yeah, okay, good on
Has
you.
Christopher Nolan killed cinema's comeback?
No.
I did.
I
Think,
said that as a joke, by the way. I didn't mean that. But
I wasn't surprised when he started speaking up about the whole Warner Brothers going to HBO Max next year,
yeah.
because he's a cinema purist, and he was definitely gonna kick up a stink
Yeah.
Yeah, but like the health and safety of people is mildly
It's
more
paramount.
important than being able to sit in a cinema and see a movie.
Now, this actually feeds very well into what I think your next question is going to be.
What movie will you make extra effort to see in theaters next year?
Now, I can promise you that if I have to suit up in a full hazmat suit to see the next Bond film, I will do it.
You won't have to do that though.
I will. They've delayed that, and but I should say, look, again, health and safety. I understand why they've done it, and I don't blame them for doing it. It's more just I really want to see the film, so I want to. I'm almost at the point where if they just allowed me to stream it, I would, and I could pay $20 to stream it. I would almost do that, but I do want to see it in the cinema quite badly. I think it's going to be quite a spectacular film. So that would be mine. Is I really want to see the new Bond film. Hopefully they don't have to delay it again from the next April the 2nd. It's meant to be coming out now next year.
I think is it Top Gun? Coming out next year.
Maverick. Yeah, that looks quite
Maverick.
good. That looks very
Like,
good.
Was that meant to come out this year?
I think it was meant to.
It was meant to come out in June, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, June or May or something.
And that just looks like a cinema experience. Like my screen in the Island Cave it's okay, but it's no full blown cinema experience. That's what I would like to see that again with Bond as well.
Yeah.
I just want to enjoy that cinematic glory.
I've got a real jonesing for Marvel at the moment, so I'll probably take any of that. But I'm really, really looking forward to seeing June on the big screen.
Oh, I forgot about June.
Yeah, June.
Yeah, June looks like it's going to be quite spectacular.
That's going to be my cinema-going experience.
Oh, there's the Batman as well.
Yes, that's right.
Yeah.
Robert Pattinson's Batman. Wonder Woman.
Christmas Day. I thought it was...
Yeah.
I didn't realize it was that soon, so I'm very excited for one.
Is that part of the Warner Brothers HBO release schedule?
It is.
Oh, I'll have to check on my Cave Cinema if it's available. Oh, I'll have to do that.
but
do I want to see that in the movies though?
That one I think we should see in the movies.
Yeah, I think we need to go out. You know what I have really missed this year?
Popcorn?
Popcorn.
Yeah.
My cinema popcorn.
I did get popcorn when I went to see Fat Man, and it just tasted like disappointment.
Is that because you're watching Fat Man?
It's
though?
because I was watching Fat Man.
See, there are a couple of cinemas in the island cinemas that I like to go to specifically that have the popcorn made there that isn't just shipped there in a big
Oh, that's
bag
nice. Yeah.
and just bleh,
That is nice. I like that.
reheated or something like meh.
My last question for you, and this is quite a broad one. What piece of media are you most excited for in 2021? Doesn't have to be film. It can be video game, TV series, album if you're listen to music.
Not to sound horribly predictable, but it's for me, it's the one thing I am holding out for is that Bond film. Not to sound like that's all my life revolves around, but it does. And so that's honestly, that's all I'm looking forward to. Of all the film releases, I'm really excited for June, really excited for Top Gun Maverick. I still need to see the first Top Gun. But that Bond film, it keeps coming to the forefront of my mind of, it's getting closer and closer. So yeah, it's still that for me, for that question.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just looking forward to a year that just feels a bit more normal. Not necessarily even what am I looking at specifically. Just I think in a year where we can just enjoy life a bit more without the existential threat of a global pandemic and political upheaval and all those sort of things. And we can just go to the movies and I can get my frozen soft drink and just enjoy it with my popcorn and get all greasy. And then I get the kernel in my tooth and I'm like, oh, it's all right. I brought an extra thing in my wallet so I could get the kernel out of my tooth. And I'm like, oh, I can relax now and just watch the film and then go, oh, that was pretty good. And then I go home and talk about it. Maybe even talk about it in the car on the way home because maybe it was an engaging film unless it was a Marvel film or Mortal Engines. And then I can just go along and then go and we'll go home and watch something and it'd be great. Yeah.
Oh, I should say, I'm just going to move on from Alex's existential crisis.
Oh, sorry, I just woke up. What happened?
No, where your eyes rolled into the back of your head. And
You're speaking in tongues.
You started foaming at the mouth and everything. They have just re-released The Lord of the Rings in 4K, and I don't have a 4K player, but next year I really want to experience that in 4K. That would be fun.
I'll give you 4K.
That'd be great. That would help me put that towards a mortgage.
$4,000 is useless here.
Yeah.
Your money means nothing.
I have multiple conch shells.
Oh, now you've got my attention.
Oh, well. Wow.
I'm pretty excited for the Lord of the Rings series.
Oh, of course. Is that next year?
And there's also supposed to be, and I doubt it will get released next year. I think it's going to get postponed until 2022. Prequel to Game of Thrones.
Yeah. I haven't seen Game of Thrones.
Yeah, well, the last season of that kind of killed any interest in that for me.
I'm hanging out for it.
Okay.
Hanging out for
That's
it.
fair enough.
See, that's the thing that I always find about sequels and prequels. I don't mind sequels, but prequels, the story that it leads up to has already happened, and what's happens in those prequels doesn't change what happens in the films.
Yeah.
And that's always something that sort of annoys me about
But
them.
having said that, in Rogue One, you know how that film's going to end, but it's still a great film.
Yeah, that's true. So I'm conflicted.
Yeah. That's fair enough. I did watch Phantom Menace recently, and sorry, I got distracted.
Prequel films of Star Wars are not great examples.
No, they're not.
Oh, Revenge of the Sith is pretty good.
I
It's
really
okay.
like Revenge. That's a great movie.
Attack of the Clones is, though, one of the worst films of all times.
Well, it's not the Taylor Swift documentary. I mean,
It's worse than that.
Oh, wow.
ooh, that is
Hot take
savage.
on that one.
Wow.
All right.
That's all my questions. I was thinking about tossing some really negative stuff. Like, what was the worst film you saw this year?
I think we've
that
covered.
sort of-
I think we've covered that.
that sort of thing.
Nah, let's keep it positive. Let's
yeah.
start the new year in a nice positive way.
I think so.
I was
think
quite
so.
angry when we were talking about Fat Man, so I feel like I need to. That's what I thought this was going to be from the trailer. That's what the trailer kind of made me think I was going to get, and I think that's why I was so disappointed, because the film is not that.
Any other comments on this year's?
Well, what other? I
slate?
mean, we had a go at a musical in Hamilton.
Yeah, I'm still like.
I still don't.
Filming a stage adaptation. I just.
Yeah, it would have been great if we were there to see it, but yeah, the filming of it, I think, detracted.
Everything comes together really well. I don't know if it's the best translation that it could have had onto film. And just because of what the content is, I felt a disconnect from it. I didn't feel like I could really fully invest my attention in this. And I am also concerned that some people know where I live. I've had some feedback from some of the people that have been listening to our podcast, and Hamilton has caused how we felt about Hamilton has annoyed
Oh no!
some people. I've had a lot of backlash about that episode.
I was upfront and I said I didn't know anything about musicals. My opinion about that film, quote unquote, is void.
Right.
Right, you're just trying to throw Alex under the bus here.
No, I never claimed to know anything about musicals.
Thankfully for me, I don't know anyone, so I haven't heard any feedback from anyone about that episode.
Well, I was going to say, I mean, the other week we did Mank, and I'm thinking, so what's the oldest film that we've done? Like, oh, Mank. We're like, no, that was this year. But I'm thinking, okay, well, that's in reference to,
It's Rear Window,
Yeah.
it's Rear Window.
which is a terrific film.
What year did Rear Window come
I
out?
can't
Was that
remember.
It was in the 40s, was it?
50s, I think.
50s, I
was
think.
I'm pretty sure it was 1950.
Oh, well, there you go.
Potentially. I know we address it in the episode.
Our tugboat, the Time Tug,
Oh.
it's got a lot of work to do today to get us all the way back to 1954.
I know we have the year right for that, but I can't remember,
I think
I
was
can't
getting
remember it
wrong.
off the top of my head now.
So you can go back and just and fact check us on that.
Does anyone remember The Good Liar? I don't remember that film whatsoever. I was expecting a twist. I got a twist. The twist was very, very subpar. Do not snort wine out of your nose, please, Matthew.
I remember it, but it felt a very Netflixy film. There was an episode where we talked about this film feels like the most Netflix film that we've done. And I can't remember which film that was, but I feel like it might have been The Good
Skyfall,
Liar.
You leave Judi Dench alone.
There it is. There's your trifecta of references, people.
Actually, no, The Old Guard. I think it was The Old Guard.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like I've seen this trailer 100 times.
Yeah, the trailer for this film didn't excite me.
That movie annoyed me.
Actually, I'd completely forgotten about that. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a forgetful
Nah.
movie.
Then I guess we can gloss over Shaun of the Dead, whatever.
We should probably look at doing Hot Fuzz. Is it really worth us doing Hot Fuzz? Because I feel like
we're just going to get 15, isn't it?
Yeah, but what's it going to give? What are we going to, like, as in, what would be the benefit of doing it?
Shall we let the people decide?
why not?
If you want us to do Hot Fuzz, send us a message and say, you must do Hot Fuzz.
Yeah, and some money.
If you don't want us to do Hot Fuzz, send us a message saying you must do Hot Fuzz
And some money.
and some money for chicken nuggets.
You don't have enough money for chicken nuggets.
I would say that my biggest surprise this year was the Borat film.
I understand that feeling.
Yeah.
Having not seen the first
Yeah.
one, I didn't realize what it was. I thought, wow, that I really feel like I've tried something new and different that I wouldn't normally watch, and that was great.
It's a little sweet, isn't it? It's
Well, I don't know if I describe the film as sweet, but
I think my biggest surprise was probably Birds of Prey.
I do like that film.
I really wasn't expecting much from it at all.
I kind of got what I expected, I think, from that.
Okay.
Is there anything that really surprised anyone? Like in a good or a bad way? Did you really expect something from something and just not get what you wanted?
Tenet.
Okay.
I think everyone had a lot of high expectations, and we're surprised how flimsy the movie was, and how technically, I don't want to say bad, but misguided it was and put together. You know, you still hear complaints about the sound, like the sound mixing.
Yeah. I have actually ordered the Blu-ray purely because I want to know what it sounds like.
Yeah. Okay.
Not in a
Ooh.
cinema.
Fair.
So I will,
And you can watch it with subtitles.
Well, exactly, and I actually know what they're saying, so I'll report back on that one. One surprise for me was Marriage Story. I didn't expect to like
Yeah.
Marriage Story as much as I did. That was a great film, terrific film, great performances by Adam and Scarlett. For some reason, I always think that's her last name. That was a great film. That was great.
Was there I mean, I've got a thought in mind. What was the worst trailer that we had this year of everything that we did? I feel like Skyfall was probably the worst trailer of films that we did this year.
Uncle Frank.
In terms of representing the film.
Uncle Frank.
You reckon?
That movie is not that upbeat.
That really makes it seem like a really nice... Well, yeah, like a rom-com.
Despite what that trailer feels like, it is not that happy and upbeat.
No, it's pretty full-on in places.
It was
It was the whole film in a trailer, wasn't it?
Trial of Chicago 7 I also thought was a bad trailer. That missold the movie.
going back to 1917. I remember our conversation about me not having watched that trailer in particular, and how they give away the grandest last shot of the film.
Yes.
In that particular trailer.
Probably quite misguided.
Yeah.
That didn't bother me though. That gave me hype.
It gave me cry.
I got mad hype from that.
Gave me laugh, gave me cry.
You know that, Steve, you had a moment of clairvoyance in our Justice League episode.
Roll the clip, Johnny. And that's where I'll put the clip.
Where you miraculously suggested that, or hoped that Warner Brothers should release all of their films on HBO at the same time. And lo and behold,
I'm going to put money on it being released in cinemas as well. There's going to be a backflip in the next 12 months.
I guess it depends on how COVID goes, doesn't it?
Yeah, and HBO is going to go, you know what? We're going to release it on HBO Max, but we're also going to release it in cinema as well.
Maybe a limited run in the cinema.
Yep.
they're doing exactly that. So what prediction or what suggestion do you make for 2021, Steve, that we can say is going to happen?
I think the Marvel Disney Plus television shows will have a better reception than the 4 movies they're bringing out this year.
Okay.
There's four Marvel MCU TV shows coming out, 4 films, and I think the TV shows will outdo them.
Well, they do have a little bit more of an advantage in that they've got more time to tell the story.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll see.
I think the benefit there is going to be that audiences will be able to watch them at their leisure, and then they're going to be forced to go to theaters every 3 months to go see a film.
Okay.
I think this year is probably going to be the year of Marvel cinema overload, or it'll be completely opposite, and everyone's like me, thirsty for Marvel, and they just go see everything.
But we had Marvel overload. This is probably the first year that we haven't had Marvel overload.
Zero Marvel.
I've
anything.
enjoyed
10 years.
not seeing Marvel films advertised. I know that I'm a bit of a grumpy old man when it comes to this, and I did enjoy a lot of the Marvel films as we suggested in the Endgame episode we did. But I'm out. After Endgame, I've taken my exit. I'm not interested in any superhero film. I've seen too many.
Well, what's next? Next year's going to be the year of Disney and HBO, I would suggest.
I also want to predict Christopher Nolan made plenty of his films with Warner Brothers, and I think because of the whole HBO thing, I think he'll take his next movie to another distribution.
Maybe Universal.
Maybe Universal. If Disney's feeling so bold, maybe there.
They could go to the 20th. It's not 20th Century Fox. It's 20th Century Studios now.
Or maybe even Sony. I reckon if he does make a move, it'll go to Sony.
Okay.
And he'll demand that it be released in cinemas and not home streaming.
Yeah.
There you go.
And it'll go to Sony purely because Sony probably only has partial distribution deals with streaming services and they're still purely...
If he makes a better film than Tenet, maybe people will actually go.
Possibly. Possibly. Now, do we give this year a rating?
Oh, no. No, please.
It's unfair to do it this year.
Yeah.
I think year in review of 2021, that's a fairer...
We can review it then. Well, as far as we know.
Well, that's... Actually,
things just might get worse.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
Why not do it? Why not do it?
Rate the year?
Rate the year. Why not?
I think we've had some really amazing releases throughout the year. We've had a lot to keep us occupied in.
I cannot quantify this year with just one number.
You quantified Taylor Swift.
There was a lot of other emotions under the surface of that.
You're just staring into the distance trying to contemplate that, weren't you?
Oh,
okay, that's fine. We don't have to give the year a rating. That's fine.
There was no trailer for 2020, was there?
I will say the benefit of this year is that we've seen more original films come out.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people are saying that the next 5 years are going to be the period of the mid to small level filmmakers.
I hope so. That'd be great.
Yeah, well, I think, I found this year, just us doing this podcast, it's forced me to watch films that I would not have seen otherwise and been able to constructively talk about them as well. I mean, I look at this list and we've got 29 films on there that we've watched this year. And I don't know, this is me being able to actually put a number to the number of films that I've seen and go, okay, I've actually watched quite a fair bit of media this year. That's a film every 1.5 weeks. And I'm kind of glad that some of them I was able to stream at home because that would have been a really expensive exercise to be able to do that. So
it's also put it in the context what you want to see at home and what you want to see on the big screen as well.
Yeah, and there's probably at least half a dozen films on the list of things that we've seen that I would have really liked to have seen that in the cinema. But it's this year has really seen a revolution in how we consume our media, and it's never going to be the same again. I can guarantee that.
No, it won't.
The world of cinema has certainly changed. It's adapted to situations beyond our control, and it's going to continue to change and be a bit weird for a while until we go, oh, remember when you could only see movies when they were released in the cinema?
For about 4 months.
And now here you are being able to just stream them at home. So it's interesting times ahead.
Absolutely. We'll have to take it as it comes, I guess. We don't really have much of a choice.
No.
I also would like to predict that we're not going to get off this island. We're stuck.
Okay, so that's 0 out of 15
for the year. Yeah, we've really let everyone at home sort of know a lot about the island this year. It's tropical. Yeah. Sometimes it's a desert.
It's a racetrack.
I have a car that I frustrate Matthew with by driving it early in the morning.
Yep. We're hallucinating a sailor.
Wait.
No,
that's a hallucination?
The captain is real.
He touched me.
I've never touched him.
Oh, no, I shook his hand. No, don't do that. Don't make it weird.
Oh, okay.
I didn't see you shaking anyone's hand. You were trying to shake hand.
I'm pretty sure I saw Steve at some point got a milkshake. Didn't you get a milkshake at some point?
Yeah, he did.
That was all sand. Fooled you though.
Oh dear.
Help.
Somehow we've got cinemas on our island.
And the gamma is terrible.
And we've had guests as well this year.
Yes, it's been great. Thank you to all our guests, actually.
Yeah. People who have not necessarily, no one's really joined us directly as such, but we've had people sending in their voice clips, which has been fantastic. So we really encourage you to keep doing that because it really helps us stave away the loneliness.
It's right, I'm better off alone.
Anyway.
So I've talked quite a bit this year about my wife too.
Yes.
She's nice.
She's been a very good gauge for a lot of things.
It must be nice having someone else.
It's good. It's really good. I'd suggest try it, but I know what you like.
Oh,
so.
I'm not a huge fan of it. That's why I got a cat.
You should get a Wilson like me.
I'd love a Wilson. Yeah, that'd be great.
Right. Shall we wrap?
Yes.
Shall we wrap things up? Steve, do you have any more questions or do you... Again, you're on the piece of paper we
It's
used.
the wrong piece of paper again. Oh, damn. Dementia is setting in hard, guys.
For the record, Taylor Swift, after the change of things, got our lowest score this year.
I thought it was Fat Man still.
No, Taylor Swift now has 4.5. Fat Man got 5
Oh, that's right. You revised. Thank you, Matt.
because
Yes.
Matt revised his score as well to lower than what you had. So Taylor Swift is officially 4.5 out of 15. Fat Man got 5. The next lowest to that, I think, is probably a little bit higher. Justice League also got 6. There you go. But the films that were our standouts this year, I don't think any of them were new releases.
No, they weren't. Oh, well.
So 1970 came in 5th place.
yes.
Jojo Rabbit came in 4th place. And then tied for first are Rear Window, Skyfall, and Knives Out.
Mm-hmm.
So they're our top 3 recommendations for films that you should probably see.
Absolutely.
And then there's heaps more there anyway. We should actually probably put a record of the scores that we got for things on the website, shouldn't we?
That'd be great.
But that's like a lot of work.
That's right. We'll do it. We got time.
Okay, all right. Well, how are we going? Are we good?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next year.
Deep breaths.
Oh, is he okay?
Oh,
It's
Steve.
about to launch into the wrap up.
Oh, you want to wrap up? Oh.
Well, I tried to wrap up for Shaun of the Dead. It really didn't go well. I got talked over because you guys were talking about Peter Serafinowicz.
That's right.
Well, Matt got really angry because I thought that maybe.
I just wanted to make sure that we were all...
You can catch us on Twitter. You can find us wherever you can find podcasts.
What was your concern about?
I just wanted to make sure that we were not misleading the ladies and
Got
gentlemen
a
listening at home.
Instagram and
To
Twitter.
make sure that we were all correct.
At Island
Ray Park
Trailer.
does a
We haven't
wonderful
found
Darth
the
Maul
guy
voice.
that's got the
He
actual
does.
Twitter
No, he
handle
doesn't.
yet. If you have any requests, you can send them to us.
He's stuck. He's stuck again, Matthew. What do we do?
On
Destroy
the Trailer
Coconut
Lab
at him.
website. You can go to trailerlab.com.au.
Let's see if maybe
Pretty
we can
awesome.
try.
Roll it, Johnny.
There we go.
Yeah, that did it. That did the trick.
Thank you, Johnny.
Who's Johnny?
Well, aren't one of you two, John? No. That's been the trailer item for this week. For this year.
Yeah.
We've wrapped up for the year of
Yeah.
2020.
Well, we've done quite well.
We've done very well. So a total of 29 films that we did. Some of them were suggested by you, and we thank you for it. It's been a wonderful year. I've been joined by wonderful people somewhere else. And yeah, we've been the Trailer Island Podcast, films and their trailers. You can find us on Facebook. You can find us on the website. Send us a suggestion, please. Do us a rating, something like that as well.
So this is how you wrap up.
Oh, yeah, it's great. We're back on track.
It was Christmas last year. It's New Year's Eve tomorrow, and we hope everyone has a wonderful 2021. It's been a weird 2020, but we've been the Trailer Island Podcast, and we hope that you have found some joy by listening to us this year. I've been Alex. I've been joined by
Matthew.
Mary Tyler Moore.
Steve.
Is that really how you want to wap
That's
up
how you
for the
want to
whole
finish the
year?
I'm gonna make it after
Oh, God.
all.
No, take him out. Take him out.
We've been the Trailer Island Podcast, and I've been Alex as well.
All right, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah, you guys are just weirding me out. That's it. We're done for 2020. We love you all. We'll catch you next year.
Giant Ronson.
Joss Whedon.
This is a Narrative Network podcast.